Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment, it's brought to you by Express Frame. I thought it was brought to you by somebody else. That's my fault. Express Frame, expressframe.net is where you can learn more about these guys. And when it comes to getting your memorabilia framed, when it comes to getting family heirlooms and family photos, obviously they can do artwork, they can do photos, but they've done all kinds of stuff for us. We have a kilt from the family. They did that with a map of Scotland on it. It's beautiful. They do great work. Anything you've got, I guarantee you they can frame it. Express Frame out in the Common Shopping Center in West Knoxville. Get out there and see them. Good folks. Let me correct my screen here. Okay, now you can come back to us. Thank you. Let's wrap. Well, first of all, before I wrap up, let's give ourselves more time here. Next Sunday will be our last show on this set. So you'll want to join us next week. Mike Strange will be coming out of retirement, literally, to join us. We're going to look back at the 20 years we've been on the air. It's kind of the kickoff to our 20th football season here. But we've been on one since 2003. How have sports changed? How's the conference changed? We'll look back at Tennessee. And we'll look back at ourselves a little bit. So if you want to see which of us has aged the most poorly, me, but you can stick around for that one. That's next week right here on the Sports Source. We'll be moving to a new set in a couple of weeks. So last show on this set next week. All right, now that I got that out of the way, let's wrap this up by talking about expectations for Josh Heupel in year 2. You may give me a record, you may throw out a bowl game, you may throw out just beating one foe, you may mix them all up. But let's run through this. What will it take, Chuck Cavaleris, for you to call the 2022 Tennessee football season a success?
Well, that's a good one, John. I would like
Thank
to
you,
see.
Chuck.
I would like to
This is
see
a stall tactic right there.
I would like to see 8 wins, which would be an improvement on your regular season total. And I want to see a victory over Florida. I want to get that game and then see how that sets up the rest of your season.
What if it's 8 wins but a loss to Florida?
I'm not as happy. I mean, I got to see who else. I mean, that streaks like we've talked about. That's been going on too long. I want to see in Knoxville. I want to see Tennessee beat Florida, and I want Tennessee end up with 8 wins.
8 wins and a win over Florida.
And a win over Florida.
That's a good one, Chuck.
That's tough. He's being tough on him. Jimmy, where are you going?
I'm going with Chuck. That's my buddy. 8 wins and a dominating win over Florida. No, just I'll take a field goal. I think 8 wins and a win over Florida. It's hard to project a bowl because you don't know who else is out there and what you're competing against. But anything short of 8 wins to me would be a little bit disappointing. You won 7 last year, and so you want to continue to go in the right direction. You want to continue to improve.
Okay, Josh.
I would say 8 wins, a win against one of the teams we talked about in the last segment. If you lose to Florida and then you go down to Baton Rouge and beat LSU and you go 8-4, I think that can be a successful season. But I will also add, if I'm allowed to keep adding on.
Yeah, sure.
Less blowout losses. Like even games where you felt like, hey, okay, we competed with Alabama for a while, lost by 28. So at the end when they're riding home feeling comfortable about covering 24 points or whatever, that's no good. So be more competitive against those big boys to where if recruiting continues like you think that it can, that you are getting closer on the field, add more talent, then maybe you have a chance to win some of those games in the next couple of years.
All right.
Well, before Chuck spoke and Jimmy agreed, I was 8-4 and a win over Florida. I'm going to stick with 8-4 and a win over Florida. I think if you beat Florida, though, and you win at Pitt, I think then you got a real opportunity to win 9. But I think that's too much to ask for this team. And Heupel's second year with all the questions you've got on defense, I think saying 9 is where I'm going to set for success, I think that's too high. But if you win 8 and you beat Florida for the first time in 4 years, 5 years?
6 years.
Okay. Then I think you got to call that a successful season.
Okay. So you guys are tougher than I was going to be. So Bob, Chuck, and Jimmy all say 8 wins and a win over Florida. Josh says 8 wins, beat one of those big 4, and have fewer blowout losses. I was just going to say get to 8 wins because if we're talking about improvement, that's a stair step. That's if it's 8-5. You were 7-6 last year. If you go 8-5, that's a step in the right direction. Now, technically you could have a better team with a worse record.
Yes.
I mean, to take it in Josh's line, all your games could be close losses, but your record's not better. I think if you're one game better in record, then there's no debate to it. It's there. But if I'm going to throw something in like a caveat that you guys do, here's one, and it will be bowl related. Get out of that stupid group of 6 bowls. Get to a real bowl game. Somehow win 9 games and get lured out. You know, I don't want to sit here and think, well, are they going to assign you the Music City or the Belk or no, not the Belk, the Duke's Mayo? Get to a real upper level bowl game at the end of the SEC spectrum. That would be a step in the right direction. But I'm going to be easy and just say 8 wins, and I'll say that's a success. Do you think 8 and 5, let's just say bare minimum success, would that satisfy the fan base?
Probably not.
Do you think they expect better than 8 and 5 this year?
Well, 8 and 5. I mean, does it mean you lose a bowl game? I mean, there's so many things there. But with the Tennessee fan base, I don't think so. With the year before, you won 7, and then you win 8 and you lost 5. To me, that doesn't seem like enough to make the Tennessee fan base happy.
Well, they're the guys. You used to work with one who is a big believer in if you don't get it done your second year, you're never going to do anything. Isn't that a Will West theory? I've heard him say that before, I thought. Sorry if you didn't say that, Will. I'm just assigning it to you. But I think it's one of those, you can tell a coach by his second year results. So to me, there will be some people that would be disappointed with 8 and 5.
Well,
There will be, for sure. I do think what will help, assuming it stays, I already mentioned, I think, but if you keep recruiting going, you have Nico and everybody coming in, you also could have dealt with an injury, but better get to 8.
Perfect. It's like you're in the media or something. Thanks to these guys. Thanks to you for watching. He takes his countdowns. We'll see you right back here next Sunday. Thank you for joining us on The Sports Source.